there are countless distinct conscious things in the world. I ask you, how do you know which of all those conscious beings you are? I suggest that it cannot be by checking an objective description. For before you can consider any objective facts about yourself, you much more simply know that you are the conscious being whose experience is immediate, first person in its style. You are the one that seems to be at the center. But now consider that every conscious being has experience that fully shares the immediate first-person character of experience that seems to distinguish you from all the others. The claim of my view, universalism, is that I am equally all conscious things on account merely of this immediacy of experience, but it seems falsely in each conscious thing that it is the only one that is me. And that is due solely to the circumstance that the experiential content of each conscious thing is cut off from that of every other. It therefore everywhere seems to me falsely that this or this or this is the only experience that is immediate and therein mine. And for that reason alone, I wrongly think my identity is confined by the objective identity conditions of only a single conscious thing. There are conceptual arguments showing that the view that you are limited to being only one conscious thing is incoherent. For example, that view cannot deal coherently with brain bisection. In actual cases in which the connection between the right and left hemispheres of a brain has been cut, there can be unconnected experiences at the same time processed in the two disconnected hemispheres. Each is felt to be the only experience the possessor of that brain could now be having. But there's no way the original person could not be equally having both, but just wrongly thinking in each that it is the only one that is mine. There are also probability arguments for universalism. According to the hypothesis of limited identity, you must regard it as an extremely improbable coincidence for you that just the right sperm cell was first to the egg in your begetting and, before that could have happened, in each begetting of your ancestors, going back to way before the dinosaurs. But, according to the hypothesis of universalism, that which is your evidence that you exist was bound to happen as long as any conscious thing had existed. Universalism is like a loaded or double-headed coin hypothesis, when the evidence is that a coin has landed heads 1,000 times consecutively. And universalism is needed to make it probable in a multiverse that specifically your universe was anthropic. The limited identity view makes it improbable for you that the universe that confines you was a rare anthropic one, whereas universalism simply puts you into any universe that produces consciousness. Though there are many ways of arguing that universalism is true, both conceptual and probabilistic, it turns out that the usual view that my identity is limited to only one conscious thing has nothing to say for itself. My powerful impression of limited identity, which is what tricks me into believing in it, is due to nothing but the same limits of integration of the contents of experience that is fully predicted to produce that very same impression within universalism, much as the impression of the sun rising is equally predicted by the view that instead the earth is rotating. Such impressions shared between views cannot be evidence for one over the other, and the impression would not be due to the limitation on identity anyway, but rather to the same lack of integration of experiential content that explains the impression in universalism. So the limited identity should be sliced out by Occam's razor, leaving universalism the simpler theory. Universalism means that you don't disappear with the death of a single conscious organism. You are also all the others. Universalism means that your real self-interest extends equally to every conscious being, which you are. You are every deer and hunter, German, Jew, and Palestinian. And retribution makes no sense, because all victims and perpetrators are you.